Hey everyone, my name is Ryan with rentalrealestate.com, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 best vehicles for landlords. So choosing the right vehicle is something that you should really give some thought to because it can really make your life a lot easier if you kind of understand what you're going to be doing as a landlord, how much you want to get involved, all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, you can do anything with any car. You can be a really successful landlord with the littlest tiny car or the biggest. So of course you can do that. But hey, if you're either in the market for a car or you're planning to buy one, or maybe you're due for an upgrade, then maybe it helps just to at least consider and buy something that's kind of going to be more conducive to what type of landlord you see yourself being. So let's jump into the list. Okay, so first on the list is a SUV. Now, the thing that's great about SUVs is that it's such a versatile car because you could use it for something like going out on a date on a Friday night with your significant other, and then use the same car Saturday morning, go to Home Depot or wherever you prefer, and throw some dirt back there, some bags of dirt, some door locks, whatever you need. You're using the same car for all of life's purposes that you need, from leisure to working. So that's why I like SUVs, because you can use the same car for all that kind of good stuff. So I have a picture here of a Mercedes G-Wagon. Now, of course, that's a $200,000 SUV. We know that not all landlords are gonna either afford that or even wanna drive something that fancy. But the reason why I have this here is because I will never forget the time where I was at a local supply warehouse here in Los Angeles, and I saw this guy loading up the back of one of these with all these 5-gallon buckets. I think it was like epoxy or something like that. And I was just amazed, like, wow, this guy is hustling, loading it up. He's not afraid to use his nice car, and that's probably how he earned the money to get it. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a nice SUV like this. It could be something as nice as this, if that's your style. Something more simpler, like a Honda CR-V, maybe a Ford Explorer or something like that. But overall, SUVs are really versatile options for landlords. So that's number 1 on the list. Okay, so number 2 on the list is a pickup truck. So pickup trucks can vary a lot on preference and where you live and stuff like that. So do you live in the city, or do you live kind of out of the city in a more rural area? Do you live somewhere where it snows, where weather conditions are kind of bad, and a bigger truck can maybe be a good thing for you? And then also, do you plan to do like full-on remodels where you're going to be carrying drywall, sheets of plywood, and big bulky things like that? So all those different factors are going to play into what type of pickup truck. So I got a picture here of a Toyota Tacoma. That's personally what I drive. I know a lot of other successful landlords that drive those as well. I also know successful landlords that drive full-on lifted diesel F-250 pickup trucks like that. So it doesn't really matter the actual like truck. Like I said, it's just your preference and some other kind of factors that are going to play into it. But one thing that is important about pickup trucks is the bed size of it. So when you're shopping around for these, there's like full-size beds or just compact beds. The thing to know with these is if you're going to be carrying like drywall and all these full-size like sheets of plywood and stuff like that, most of them are going to be 4x8. And in a Tacoma like this, you're not going to be able to like comfortably put it in there. You can carry it, but you're not going to be able to like close the tailgate and all that kind of stuff. If you really want to do that, you're probably going to have to go for like a longer big bed truck, like an F-250 or maybe even F-150. But I think even with an F-150, you're probably still going to have to drop the tailgate. It's going to hang over like that. So that's something to keep in mind, is going to be bed size. If you're going to be carrying like the big sheets of common things like that you might as a landlord if you're going to be doing remodels. if maybe you really want a compact bed for whatever reason, you could probably get around this with a roof rack on the top, where you put the big sheets on the roof rack. Here's a picture of what that looks like right here. So there you have it. Those are kind of some of the points of views for landlords that'd be interested in getting a pickup truck. All right, number 3 on the list, and probably the most controversial, is a minivan. So if you're a millennial, Gen Z, you're under the age of 35, this video isn't gonna convince you to get one of these. But these are definitely the underdogs on the list. If you take the back seats out of these things and you really see the space that's back there, you'd be surprised. It's like a little room back there, especially if you maybe put shelves on each side of it. It's amazing how much space is in the back of these things, especially since they have a flat floor. There's also, the doors open up on each side, door opens on the back. If there's some of them already have like a rack on top, but if they don't, you can put one on there. You can carry a sheet of drywall on there, so it passes the drywall test, which is important as a landlord. And they're also really low key. So if you want to be low key around your tenants, or even for breaking into it and stuff like that, you know, you're going to keep tools and really expensive things in here at times. Tint the windows on it, and you don't really got to worry about being like a high profile target, especially if you live in like a major city. So these minivans are great for landlords. It's just, are you like down with the cool factor? I think that's what it comes down to. But overall, they're great, especially like a Toyota like this or a Honda one. Gonna be great on gas mileage, easy to get parts if they break down, and they're so reasonably priced that, let's say you actually have like a nice car, but you're like a landlord and sometimes you got to do some work. Couple grand, you could probably afford to own like this thing on the side and even just use it whenever you need to kind of do work. So many reasons why these things are the underdog, but great vehicle for landlords overall. All right, number 4 on the list is electric cars and hybrid vehicles. So these probably aren't going to be the best cars for landlords that are going to like really benefit from having something like a truck or things like that where they can carry a lot. They're probably going to be a better bet for like commuter landlords, where let's say your rental property is in another town. You're not going to be like really getting hands-on. Maybe you do once in a while, but nothing crazy like remodeling or anything like that. You probably got contractors to handle that kind of stuff for you, but you want to go check on it. You want to be driving there. You want to be like seeing what's going on with your property, maybe even doing routine inspections. If commuting is a big thing, then one of these is probably going to be your best bet. This is a picture of, I think it's a Chevy Bolt. So these things are great options, but something that I'm keeping my eye on is the new electric trucks that are coming out. I think those things could be the best of both worlds for a landlord if you want the fuel efficiency of an EV and also the capabilities of a truck. Something like the Ford F-150 Lightning or the Rivian truck. Those things I think have a lot of potential to be great for landlords. But as of the time of recording of this video, we're still a little bit early on for that. So maybe in time, as they kind of go down in price and they get easier to get, I think that could be a great option for this list. Number 5 on the list is a utility van. So these are going to be great options for professional landlords. These are going to be landlords that have like many properties, many units. Maintenance is going to be a huge thing that's always going on for them, and having a truck or a car or like something like that is probably not going to cut it. Maybe it can cut it, but it would just be so much more beneficial to have something professional like this. Now the things with these is that in the inside of them, they normally have like shelves that go inside of it. And one of my personal favorite things of these is the time that they can save. So if you've been a landlord for a while, then you know that over time, you keep needing the same parts for repairs. Maybe you show up for a repair and you don't necessarily, you kind of have an idea of what you're gonna need, but as soon as you get to the job site, you're like, oh, that's what I need. I gotta go to Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards or wherever, and I gotta go pick up that part. Going back and forth just really eats into the productivity of your day, and something like this could really cut that down. So that's one of my favorite reasons for having one of these guys, is to keep those parts in there that you're always gonna need, like little plumbing parts, cans of spray paint, locks, all those common things that you're gonna realize as a landlord to keep needing the same things over and over again. In terms of the drywall and plywood test, if these things have a roof rack on the roof of it, then you can probably carry a sheet up there, strap it down, and it should be good to go. So these are the utility vans. Like I mentioned, probably gonna be a good bet for professional landlords. If you have like a full-time maintenance guy that's working for you, then this could be his go-to work car. So those are the utility vans. All right, so we have a bonus. I know it was 5, but we're adding a bonus to it. Are you ready? The bonus is a trailer. Now, I know it might not seem too sexy, but trailers are super underrated things for landlords, especially if you don't have a truck or if you don't have a utility van or something like that. A trailer could really help you out as a landlord. They're really great for carrying bulky things like appliances, maybe a huge plant if you're going to be doing some landscaping or something like that. And the cool thing about them is you use it when you need it and then drop it off or detach it and stash it whenever you're done with it. They're really reasonably priced, depending where you live. That's gonna depend on like the registration of it, for how much you gotta pay annually. But trailers are excellent options for landlords. Highly recommend you look into it. So there you have it, guys. The top 5 cars for landlords. We even threw in a bonus, the sexy trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments about this, and we'll see you guys in the next video.